We're going to pick it up in the top of the 6th. So that crazy double play just happened. Snell is in the middle of tearing apart this Brewers team. And then stepping to the plate, Freeman giving us a ding-dong Johnson.
Woo, and waking up, you know, he was one of the bats that the Dodgers needed to get going, and this could be the game that gets him going. If he gets going, and everybody else over there, this could be a tough series for them.
It almost grazed the roof, Jimmy.
I mean, you know, Freddie was out there shooting jumpers. He said he's getting ready for basketball season. Sometimes when you step back beyond at a half court, that three-quarter shot, you got to get it up there. And he was nothing but net, baby.
And get that arc, right?
Yeah, there you go.
That's really all we thought they needed. Blake Snell went 103 pitches. That changeup, a 61% whiff rate, but 10 Ks, 1 hit, 0 walks. Blake Snell out of his mind.
They couldn't see that boy tonight.
I would say not out of his mind, in his element. That's what he was.
He was exactly where he needed to be. So they bring in Sasaki, who had been a wonderkin in this playoff, and this is when it started to go crazy. Bauer ground rule double. Hope is back in American Family Field. Churio, sacrifice fly, RBI. Now they're within 1 run and 2 outs. And then the face of this Brewers team for about the last 7-8 years, Yelich, steps to the plate and steps his way to first base. This forces a pitching change. Blake Treinen comes in, and now we got runners on the corners. Contreras walks, and Turang is up.
You talk about building confidence. This is something to put someone in a big moment. Don't shy away from it. He has been your guy before. You got to give him the ball again.
Treinen with his first save since April. Sasaki had come in, pitched 5 1/3, and was really untouchable in the postseason. And we will talk about where is his confidence now. But after you face Snell, you can tell manager Murphy still processing what he witnessed on the bump.
He was great. His sequencing and in terms of throwing his changeup is effective. His changeup and slider were incredible. The kid was incredible. I've seen him pitch like that before. I think it's his most dominant performance against us. I've been here 10 years. I think that's the kid Swellenbach from Atlanta had one against us earlier, kind of in the shadows. It was kind of different, but kid was amazing. And Will Smith, the way he called the game, and it was unusual. The way he did it, he didn't go back and forth. He just went change up, and the ball was moving so much, and it was such a great pitch. He recognized it and stayed with it, and so I credit Smith too. And Snell was unbelievable.
Pedro, during the game, you could see Snell going, and he's calling his own game. I asked you in the green room, did you call your own pitches? You said you did. So there's also an appreciation, not just of striking out guys, but having the blueprint and the game plan. We see him in the dugout looking at everything, the mind as well as the physical performance.
That's why I told you earlier, not too long ago, about a minute ago, that he was in his own element. That he was locked in from pitch 1 to pitch 101. I have never seen anything like it in the postseason, and I was part of a lot of postseason games, and I've seen a lot of great pitchers, including that Roger Clemens that once did it too. But 5 times that this guy has been able to do, this kid has an aura for the big game, and not only the aura, but he also has the stuff. Very deceiving, over the top. He has matured as he goes, and his changeup has become a little weapon in the last 2 years, and that's probably why you see those Cy Young hanging in his living room.
Got 2 of them. Can I ask a question? You guys are really smart. I'm really dumb. Bases were loaded for Bryce Turang. Wild pitch went right at his legs, and he jumped back. I'm dummy. Should he have just taken that off the leg? See, this is like you guys played. It's
the should he just have let it hit him.
Yes.
That is tough. When you're in that situation, most guys, can't say every, and I've played with the guy that would definitely for sure let it hit him. Most guys are trying to not get hit. You're not going up there looking to get hit. You see a ball come down there, and your reaction is to do that.
Right.
But they have the wherewithal, knowing that Blake pulls his slider. You're looking for something down and in, and you can you're taught to turn your back towards the ball. If he does that, it probably hits him. But you see, he took the stride like he normally was getting ready to hit it. Then he just kind of opened himself out and put his leg out the way. And then he swings at a ball over his head.
Right.
Which goes to tell me He was thinking about that. He backed out like, man, if that hits me, that's a tie ball game. And that's still on your mind. And not that he didn't get fully back into the at-bat. You know that you got away with an opportunity right there. So,
and look, it's easy for me to say
it's tough.
I'm not facing a 95-mile-an-hour slider at my kneecap.
All you got to do is stand in the backyard and let someone throw the ball at you, left go, and see if you either stay there or if your natual reaction is to move out of the way.
Well, he said he's not the smartest guy, so he probably
Pedro, let's do it in the parking lot tomorrow.
Listen up. It's their natural reaction to protect themselves when they see the ball coming at them. And also, let's not forget that as much as we want these kids to be perfect, he's still young.
Oh, sure.
Remember, this is a relatively young player. Some of those players that used to do that, turn around with the intention of getting hit, or they practice that. It's not just once. It's not just one game. They normally do that after repetitions. So when the moment comes, they identify it. But this is a relatively young player that doesn't realize that he probably could have tied up the game on a breaking ball hitting him on the knee. But their natural reaction is defend themselves from the ball.
One more question about Roki Sasaki, who was known as the monster of the Reiwa era. He came in and he was really stamping that claim. He had a three perfect innings in Game 4 clincher against the Phillies, 5 1/3 innings, no walks. He gets shelled a little bit, gets shell-shocked a little bit. They have to bring in Blake Trinan. Do you have any concerns going forward about Roki, or do they instill confidence in the locker room and get him back out there in Game 2?
No concern at all. Plus the situation. You come in with runners on. It's a little different. If you come in with a clean inning, which is similar to what he used to do as a starter, that makes things a little bit easier. Now, every situation is not going to be a clean inning, but when you are in that situation, that can build the confidence back up. And give credit to Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers. Again, flipping, coming back. And now whenever the opportunity comes up in any of these remaining games, you got to run him back out there. You got to get his confidence back up soon.
In fact, Dave Roberts just spoke to the media about Sasaki and Trinan. Let's take a listen.
I don't know. He had 3 days off. Everything I heard, he felt great, and there were some near misses. But, you walk 3 guys, and so he was just off a little bit. But I thought the stuff was still good, but just missing. And I don't know, if there was carryover from the 3 innings. Just kind of betting on, how he's saying he feels, and the coaches and training staff, and with the 3 days off, I felt good with him.
And with Blake, obviously, you've seen a lot of good postseason pitching performances, but what do you think of? Where do you think Blake Snell's outing ranks among those tonight?
This was as good as I can remember in the postseason, against a very gritty team. Puts the ball in play. The changeup was the pitch of the night. His command was great, and you're not going to see too many performances like that. Certainly in the postseason, this was pretty special.
Pedro, any final thoughts on Sasaki?
I think he's going to be fine. I think the fact that he had to wait 3 days, this is not a usual game for him. But I think he's going to be fine. I wouldn't worry at all about Sasaki. He's going to be okay. I think he needed to feel the ball a little bit more. Plus, this is probably the tightest game he ever played.
Right.
And I think he's going to be okay. And plus, relievers are thought to have a very short memory. So he's going to be right back out, and he's going to be just fine. Probably even better with the feel of the ball.
Right. Boy, do we have a matchup coming up tomorrow night.
Tell us about it, Lef.
Yamamoto and Peralta. And Peralta has been an absolute monster when he takes the mound here in Milwaukee. I saw Yamamoto in the tunnels today. That dude works out every single day, throwing nonstop. It's going to be phenomenal. Let's take a look at what we have tomorrow, what time to join us. We have an hour-long pregame show. Join us 7 o'clock Eastern. We are going to be right here at American Family Field, NLCS. Ohtani, Betts, Yelich, Contreras. It is going to be phenomenal. This is where they're saying you got to make Blake Snell your daddy, Pedro. Woohoo! We'll see. We'll find out coming up as we close out the closer.